Friends, have you ever wondered how mankind's greatest triumph turned into its most devastating failure? Today, we tell the story of the Ship of Dreams, a vessel the world labeled Unsinkable, only to see it swallowed by the depths of the ocean in a single night. I am Hunter Stories, and today, we will uncover the truth of the Titanic that remains hidden 12,500 feet beneath the waves. Host, imagine standing on the deck of the safest, most expensive, and most massive ship ever built. A masterpiece of steel that was hailed as unsinkable. But then, in just 37 seconds, the dream turns into a nightmare. What exactly happened on that freezing night in 1912 that transformed the Ship of Dreams into a watery grave? Today, we dive deep into the haunting truth behind the legend of the Titanic. Midnight to 050, the hook, the legend and the irony. Visuals. Cinematic CGI of the Titanic cutting through waves. Transition to a haunting shot of the wreckage in the dark abyss. Host. They called her the Ship of Dreams. A floating palace so grand, so massive, that it was labeled unsinkable. But on April 15, 1912, the Atlantic Ocean proved the world wrong. How did a masterpiece of human engineering vanish into the abyss in just a few hours? This isn't just a story about a ship. It's a story of pride, warnings ignored, and the heartbreaking screams that still echo through history. 050 to 215, the grandeur, built on ambition. Visuals, high-end 3D models showing the interior, the grand staircase, the engines, the rich gold-trimmed dining halls. Host, standing 882 feet long and costing a staggering $7.5 million, an unheard-of fortune at the time, the Titanic was a city on water. For 3 years, thousands of workers poured their sweat into its steel. From the opulent first-class gyms to the majestic libraries, it was the pinnacle of luxury. For the 2,200 souls on board, this wasn't just a voyage, it was the event of a lifetime. They felt safe. They felt invincible. 215 to 345, the shadow of negligence. Visuals, a map of the North Atlantic with red warning icons appearing. Cut to the captain on the bridge looking into the dark horizon. Host, but beneath the glamour, a series of fatal mistakes were being made. For 4 days, the Titanic raced across the sea. Other ships sent urgent messages, heavy ice ahead. But the warnings were set aside. In a desperate bid to break speed records and prove the ship's power, they pushed forward at full speed into the dead of night. They weren't just sailing toward New York. They were sailing into a trap. 3:45 to 5:30, the collision, 37 seconds of terror. Visuals, the lookout ringing the bell frantically. The ship turning slowly. The sound of metal tearing against ice, a deep, visceral crunch. Host, 11:40 p.m. The sea was eerily flat, like a mirror. Suddenly, a massive shadow emerged from the darkness. The lookouts had only 37 seconds to react. They tried to veer away, but the ice was unforgiving. It didn't hit the ship, it sliced it. 6 watertight compartments were breached. Because of a fatal design flaw, the water spilled over the tops of the bulkheads like an ice-cold waterfall. The unsinkable ship was dying. 5:30 to 7:30, the heartbreak, real human emotions. Visuals, archival photos of real passengers. CGI of people crowding the deck. Chaos in the corridors. Host, then came the realization of a terrifying truth. There were only enough lifeboats for half the people on board. This is where the statistics end and the tragedy begins. We hear of fathers kissing their children for the last time, wives refusing to leave their husbands, and the band playing music to calm the panic until the very end. As the bow dipped into the freezing -2 degrees Celsius water, the Ship of Dreams became a graveyard of broken promises. 7:30, end, the aftermath. A lesson in the dark. Visuals, slow, sweeping shots of the rusted bow on the ocean floor. Eerie, atmospheric music. Host, at 2:20 a.m., the Titanic snapped and surrendered to the deep. 1,500 lives were lost in the silence of the Atlantic. Today, she lies 12,500 feet down, slowly being consumed by the ocean. The Titanic serves as a haunting reminder. No matter how great our machines, we can never conquer the raw power of nature. Some say she should be raised, but perhaps she is best left there, as a monument to those who never came home. Outro. If this story moved you, hit the like button and subscribe. And tell us in the comments, do you think the Titanic was a tragedy of fate, or a tragedy of human arrogance?